Hey guys, so I'm back, just giving some feedback on a situation that I had recently. This not really related to health or anything like that, but just something that kind of occurred to me that I'm sure often happens to a lot of people. So I'm out with my cousin. It's at a bar, restaurant type of place. I'm gonna avoid naming the place, but so we're sitting down. There's a group of guys next to us at a table next to us. So, we're having some beers, we're watching the game. And, those guys are fine. Everything's fine. So some time goes by and another gentleman comes over to their table, their friend or whatever, joins them. This guy has to be one of the loudest people that I have ever heard. Just naturally loud, deep voice. I mean, my cousin went to the bathroom, which is a good distance away from where our table was, and he said he could still hear him through the walls in the bathroom. That's how loud he was. But so here's the situation. This is kind of like where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. So you have these group of guys, fairly big guys, about 6 of them at a table, being loud, ridiculously loud. Especially that one guy is really the only issue. Everybody's looking at him. Everybody knows what's going on. Nobody wants to say anything, and because obviously there's also like a little bit of an intimidation factor. There's 6 guys and they're being loud and kind of obnoxious. Not too many people want to approach that situation. I was waiting for the manager to say something. Nobody said anything. The managers didn't say anything. My cousin's like, I'm gonna end up saying something. So, he went to the bathroom, and I decided, he always tends to be the one to speak up. I kind of just defer to him on that, but I was like, let me, at least take one of these. So it's these types of situations. So, I walk up over there. Thinking back now, I probably shouldn't have touched one of the guys, but I put my hand on one of the guys' backs and it just kind of was like, hey guys. And I was extremely nice. I mean, I'm super nice, to the point where if they were jerks to me, it would be pretty bad, because I was so nice to them. So I was like, hey man, and I specifically talked to that one guy. I was like, look, I know I don't want to spoil your fun. I know you're enjoying your time with your friends and everything like that. So I'm not trying to be ridiculous here. I know it's going to be some loudness to this, but you just naturally have a really loud voice, and I was wondering if you can just kind of keep it down just a little bit. Again, just being super nice, because I know it's uncomfortable for them to hear it and for me to do it, to talk to them. So he's just looking at me, and I think he was trying to figure out what just happened, because I'm sure not too many people do that, would approach him like that. He's just looking and looking. I swear he must have looked at me for 2-3 seconds, but it felt like 30 minutes. Because I'm just waiting for a response at this point. So he does something that's kind of funny. He doesn't say a word. He just holds out his hand and like shakes my hand. So I shake his hand. I tell him thank you, and go back to my seat. Now he was quiet for a little bit, and then kind of got back up, ramped up back to that same kind of volume. But at this point, I wasn't going to go up and say anything else, because I'm like, I already did my part. I feel like the manager of the establishment should say something, which they did. I think once I went up and talked to them, then they went ahead and started saying something to them. Later on, some of the guys came over and they were like, hey man, sorry about about the being loud and everything. And I was like, no, it's no problem. I get it. I get having a good time. I get enjoying yourself, so I'm just trying to be respectful of their time, that they're taking time out of their day, spending their money, so they want to have fun. And also, I'm trying to make sure that we enjoy our time as well. So everything worked out. We actually ended up talking to those guys for a while, and everything was cool. I said this to kind of say, it could be a very nervous situation to do something like that, and by no means am I advising people to, interact with others in that kind of, say, conflict situation, because people are crazy. There's all kinds of things that it could have went left very easily. A lot of things could have happened. If those guys weren't who they were, who knows how it would have ended up. I was just at a point where I couldn't function at that table with it being so loud the way it was. But every time it doesn't work out negatively. There's an example of you speaking up and something positive coming out of it. Again, you have to judge it for yourself when you should and shouldn't say something. I tend to let things go a lot. It was just, this time it was just too much. But everybody's different, and so it doesn't always have to be a negative thing. But I will say that the way you approach people makes a huge difference. Sometimes another person in that scenario will come up and try to puff their chest out and try to get, buck with them. And I would think that would be a very bad way to handle it, because initially you should always come with respect, and hopefully the people that you're speaking with, will show you the same respect. They might not, but at least you're satisfied with the way that you handled it. But if you go there and try to say something to escalate the situation, for sure, 100% of the time, it will be escalated, because nobody wants to be talked down to. So if you try to go in there and tell them to shut up and all kinds of stuff, and just be aggressive and, have a look on your face, if that's the kind of energy you're putting out there, they're going to meet that energy the same way. So it's just the way it is. So just going on to say that being nice to people can go a long way, guys.